Hi everyone. I've had some questions on using Grammarly, and I also went through my Grammarly usage process, and I realized I had some problems with it, and I modified it. I now have a Grammarly usage process that makes sense, and it removes all errors, creating perfect text, and has you do the minimum required to do that. So I'm going to provide this little update to show you my new Grammarly usage process. Now I want to begin by reviewing your copy editing options. One is to don't copy edit your work, in which case you'll get bad reviews and you'll have poor sales. I don't think that's an option. You have to copy edit your work. Now, when it comes to copy editing, you have two choices. You can pay a professional copy editor $300 to $500 to copy edit your work, which for me is way too expensive. It creates the best results, but I'm not paying $300 to $500 per work. That's a lot of money to have to recoup through self-publishing. So your final option, and really the only one that's viable, is to copy edit your own work to perfection using Grammarly and my copy editing process. And tell me at the end where any errors can slip through this process. Let's look at the process and then we'll jump over to Grammarly and I'll show it to you in practice. Now, as I said, I've revised this process. Originally, I used to say, scan your work backward and out loud for errors, and then run Grammarly. And I started thinking about it, and I thought that makes absolutely no sense. You should remove all grammar and spelling errors using Grammarly before you scan your work. And then when you scan your work, you look for specific things. So here's the new process. 3 steps. Run Grammarly on your work and address all Grammarly suggestions. We're going to look at how to do that to get the green check mark that your work is okay. Now, 2 things I want to point out about running Grammarly right up front is that you should run the free version. I own the premium version, and I really can't find any features that are in it other than additional plagiarism checks, which I never run anyway. So I don't see any reason to get the premium version. Get the free version. And it runs in Word, which I'm going to demonstrate, but it also runs standalone. So if you're not using Word, you can always copy and paste your work over to Grammarly and then back again. Now, there's also a Google Docs extension for Grammarly. So if you're using Google Docs, use that extension and run Grammarly within Google Docs. Now, once you've removed all of the grammar and spelling errors, then you scan your work backward and out loud. You do it backwards so you don't get caught up in the story, and you do it out loud so that you can hear your errors. And this time, you're actually going to look for specific errors. Remember, grammar and spelling errors are gone. All the technical stuff has been removed by Grammarly. What you're looking for is sentences that don't make sense, such as, the cat read the shoe. This is a grammatically correct sentence that makes no sense. So you want to correct any sentences that Grammarly can't correct for you because it can't figure out what sentences don't make sense. You want to find sentences that don't say what you were trying to say. You want to find sentences that could be worded better. And finally, you want to keep track of your sentences to see whether they fit together as a whole paragraph, as a whole scene, whatever it is. But from sentence to sentence, what you're saying has to make sense in whole. Then finally, draft friends, peers, and family to read your work. The more eyes you can get on your work, the better. So with that said, as an introduction, I want to jump over to Grammarly in Word now and show you my process. Here I am in Word, and I would be writing along. And the first recommendation is that when you run Grammarly, it opens a pane on the right side of the screen. Let's open Grammarly. I come here to the Grammarly extension that I've added to Word, and I say Open Grammarly. Now, don't keep Grammarly open while you're writing. Open it when you're ready to edit, do your editing, and then close it. It's a distraction, and it takes away screen real estate. Okay, we have to log in. And after we log in, then Grammarly starts running. Now, here's what it will show you. Correctness. Now, if I see any red correctness errors, I usually correct them. I let Grammarly, and Grammarly is usually always right. When it comes to clarity, the blue ones, the green ones, engagement, and delivery, the purple ones, I have a debate with Grammarly and I decide whether I approve of it or not. So we've got no correctness errors. That's interesting. So let's put one in. Let's take funny and make it junk. And now you can see the red underscore. So I have one correctness problem, I have one clarity problem, one engagement problem, and delivery is fine, the purple. And I see them on the right. So I scan down and it says, correct your spelling. It suggests links. Okay, instead, I'm just going to undo my typing and make it funny. And that corrected the error. Now notice now I have two issues remaining. So you look down at the bottom and we scroll down and let's see what small is all about. Though only a small 22 caliber weapon, choose a different word. It doesn't like the word small. I'm being casual and I don't like tiny. It's not a tiny 22 caliber weapon. So I don't agree with this modification. So I come up here to dismiss. And that modification or that suggestion is now gone. Now I'm down to one suggestion. Sand in his face by the time. Change the wording. When. So let's see this. The wind was kicking up sand in his face when Zach returned. By the time. I like by the time more. So once again, errors, correct all of them. And I usually take Grammarly's suggestion on all errors. But clarity, engagement, and delivery, I have these debates with Grammarly, and I may or may not accept them. But what I do if I don't accept them is I click on dismiss. Why? Because once I get done with the whole document, look at the bottom of Grammarly here. I get this green check mark. That's when you know you're done with Grammarly, and it's time to start the next step. Now, what I want to tell you before moving on from Grammarly is that this is the Grammarly standalone tool. So I can create a new Grammarly document. I can come over to Word, select all my text, right-click and say copy, and then come back over to Grammarly, right-click, do Control-V, Control-V to paste my text. And then actually here, look, it asks you for goals. Now this I set up ahead of time. So the sound or the voice that you're using, you can set up and it will check for that. So here, let me see, it found small again. And by the time it didn't find funny because I recorrected that. Oh, it's saying small to tiny. So it's saying the same things. And here you get to see your correctness, clarity, and engagement. So once I'm done editing this way, I just select it again, go Control-C to copy. It doesn't seem to be accepting right-clicking. And I come back over to Word, where I right-click and say Paste. And here's my text back again, having been run through standalone Grammarly. So Grammarly runs in Word. Grammarly runs in Google Docs. Run Grammarly that way. But if you run an editor, OpenOffice or something, or just a simple text editor that Grammarly won't run in, you can use this cut and paste method to use Grammarly. Now, since I'm done copy editing, I close the Grammarly panel and I go back. Now, the next step is to start reading this backwards. Now, you're reading it backwards so you don't get involved in the plot. And you're reading it out loud because it's easier to hear errors than to just see them and process them in your mind. So I'm going to say out loud, though good at eating, cats made Zach nervous. That sentence makes sense. It says what I wanted it to say. I think it says it about as well as I possibly can, and we'll keep it in mind to see if it fits with the other sentences. And let's move up a sentence. As Zach neared the corner of the station, he felt his legs begin to quake. That sentence makes sense. We already know it's grammatically correct and has correct spelling. So Any of the Grammarly checks we can just ignore. Right now we're just looking, does this make sense? And if you go through all of these sentences backwards, and they all make sense, and they're all grammatically correct, and there's no spelling errors, and you have clarity and engagement and all those Grammarly things taken care of, then you have perfect writing, or near perfect. Let's say this is the 80-20 rule. You probably get perfect writing from copy editors because they actually go out and do fact checking. They do some more stuff. We're getting 80% of that. We're getting good enough for free. Now, the final thing that I want to show you is if you go out and do a search on Grammarly Google Docs, I found this document that talks about how to run Grammarly in Google Docs. And it shows you how it works and everything like that. It looks really nice. It looks just like it does in Word. So you want to run Grammarly in Google Docs rather than using my cut and paste method. And that's everything that I can tell you about my new process for running Grammarly. I hope it helps. Run Grammarly. Copy edit your work. You don't need bad reviews and, as a result, poor revenue. You must copy edit, and the only viable method is to do it yourself with Grammarly. And with that said, that's the end of the lecture. I'll see you in the classroom.